listening to Fight Stories.
Welcome to Fight Stories. I'm John Moses. Ooh, do we have a doozy for you today. We're in Kingston, Ontario, talking to Pierre Moore. This is a great episode. When I am telling people about fight stories, I tell them about the Pierre Moore, Kip Brennan street fight. I have told that fucking story so many times, I've probably told it more than Pierre has. That said, the audio in today's episode is passable. We'll say passable. This is the second episode we recorded. We started in the Comfort Inn in a breakfast lounge, and we were kicked out of there by the cleaning lady. As tough as Pierre was, she did not give a fuck about his story. So we had to go to his house to finish it out. Guys like Pierre, guys like Rob Driscoll, they're regular dudes, man. They're not going to New York City to sit down in the studio with us, okay? So we got to get this stuff where we can get them. That said, we are constantly putting money into the podcast and improving our equipment. If you want to support, you can go to patreon.com/fightstories. Everything we get right now is coming right back into the podcast. We're getting better equipment, producers, sound editors, and for travel. We want to go into the armpits of Canada and the United States to find the best, most unique, wildly entertaining, and funny fight stories there are. Hey, you got a fight story? We want to hear it. You know somebody with a great story? We want to hear it. Everybody's got a fight story. Here's Pierre Moore's. So listen, this is fucking two comedians fucking around.
Yeah. Don't worry, you guys. We're all easygoing guys.
Yeah, I know.
There's no filter. There's no boundary. You can say whatever you know.
Okay. I don't know, dude.
I
felt comfortable around. I
tell you right now, I would give each one of you guys a free one. If you hit me twice, I might get a little angry.
Yeah.
All right? If you come across the table and give me a smack, I'll say, don't do that again. All right? So feel free to say whatever you want.
That's a little insulting. You're like, I'll give you a free one. I'm not too worried about you.
I worry about everyone, but... yeah.
We're recording, right?
Yeah.
Good, I think that's the intro. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Fight Stories. I'm John Moses.
Tyler Morrison, and we're here with our guest Pierre Moore. We're doing a little series of local legends.
Legends in Kingston, Ontario.
Yeah, one of the toughest fight towns in Canada. We love Kingston.
I think we're going to be coming back. I got a fun feeling that we're going to be coming back. All right, so when you first walked in, I was excited because, I was pumped up about the interview we just got on the heels of. And then B, like, just when you walked in, I quickly sized you up, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a good one." and then, but I think like in my excitement, because I was like, "Oh, are you Pierre?" And you're like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yes!" And I kind of like fucking laughed with like a nervous energy, but you didn't like smile at me at all. You just gave me this icy stare. I don't even know if you knew that you were doing it, but I was like, "Fuck!" You were just giving off an intensity, which is why I had to be like, "Listen, this is comedy, dude." Because I was like, and then you shook my hand, and I was like, "Holy fuck! I feel like he's ready to go."
Pierre looks like he just came from a fight and didn't break a sweat.
Yeah. This is more what I was expecting. Okay, so usually we do a little pre-interview or whatever, like, hey, like, let's give us a little backstory. And I said, Pierre, so when did you start fighting? And he goes, right away. And I laughed, and he goes, when I was 9 months. And I laughed, and he goes, no, seriously. So let's just pick it up from there.
So my stepfather came into my life when I was 9 months old, and he looked at me as more of an experiment than a stepson or a son. So his mission, he grew up a rough style of life, like in the pool. His mother and father owned a pool hall, so just
sure.
Often that's how people dealt with stuff back in the day. They scrapped it out. So he hung around a tough crowd. And he knew all kinds of bikers and stuff like that. So he wanted to turn me into a fighter,
a machine,
basically a machine, a weapon.
Yeah.
So from let's say 9 months to 6, I went under very intense training that I was not a volunteer of,
or even aware of. You're
aware of. So
you're like beyond a fucking child. And you're just like, you don't even know that this isn't how everybody else is raised.
In order, with the way he looked at it, in order to be able to apply pain to someone, before you learn to apply it, you should learn how to take it. So they wanted to beat the pain out of me, so to speak. So I took intense beatings as a toddler. And this was disturbing. It disturbed me growing up. And I lashed out throughout my adolescence because I figured I was a product of my environment.
Sure. And you probably had a fucking hair trigger.
This is the world I live in. This is normal. You know, I was never around anyone. I didn't know any different until I eventually grew up and met people who lived a normal life, and I was kind of thrown back by it. So for the first 5 years of my life, the first year I was an infant, and that didn't happen for a while. They would hang me upside down. They would stand in a circle, and they would Charlie horse me, beat me, and all the time.
Who's they?
They would be my father's brother and his friends, his drinking buddies.
Holy fuck!
And they would get a kick at it, and I would cry.
Of course.
And they would continue to beat me till I stopped crying, because they would say the crying doesn't make the pain go away. So, and then once I started school, they no longer could put bruises and lumps on me without child services getting involved, right? So after that intense physical beatings I took year after year, day after day, they enrolled me into karate. So I started taking karate. At this time we lived in St. Thomas, Ontario, right by London, Ontario. And I took karate from when I was 6 till I was 12, which then we moved to Kingston. And I got in the boxing this whole time, never allowed to back down from the fight. If I was ever a bully, I ever went to him and said, listen, this guy's old and he's picking on me. He would smack me and say, there's no way that guy can hurt you more than I can. So if you don't deal with him, you have to deal with me. So in
a very weird, sadistic way, I guess he cared about you?
Well, in his own twisted way, he did. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Like, there was a time in my life where I eventually lashed out and kicked it. You know, he said I would never be able to fucking hurt him. There was a point in my life where I did kick the shit out of him.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I brought someone with me that would pull me off him, because there was a lot of pent-up hatred towards him. But
that's some forethought.
I love the person I am. I would do anything for anybody. And it's weird, because I've met people who've been fucking fed their whole life with a silver spoon, and they've had everything handed to them, and they've had every opportunity that the world has to offer them, and they're the biggest piece of shit in the world. I had every card stacked against me, and I love who I am. I would do anything for anybody at any time, even people that don't even like me. I'm in a union with guys who stab me in the back every day, but if they were ever stranded or needed somebody and they called me, I would go and get up and
you showed up to do this. I think that's an example of showing up for your buddies, and that's on fucking Ryan's strength. You don't know us from anybody. He already offers us a couple freebies. So
I moved around a lot, like kind of like a gypsy, and then this whole time I'm training to be a fighter, right? I was in boxing. I was first in Canada, first in Ontario, 3 years in a row.
How old are you when this is going on?
Young. I started boxing when I was 12, so around 16 I'm going to the Canadians and going to the provincials and doing stuff like that. But then at that time at 16 is when we used to parties start.
Of course, the drugs start.
Girls. No, my parents were addicts. Their drug of choice was whatever you had.
Sure.
So I didn't touch drugs till I was in my 20s, till I met a woman and then they did it. Like I was dead set against drugs. I hated drugs because they took away from my life. Like my parents would be in self-induced comas. You know, I'd have to take care of my siblings. They'd be passed out for days at a time. You know what I mean? They would get their welfare check and they'd be gone. And you know what I mean? Now I got to get food and feed my kids and make sure the rent's paid. So I would try and do all those things, right?
Tremendous amount of pressure on a fucking kid. You know.
Well, you grow up fast, right?
Yeah.
And it's numbing. Like, it's weird. Like, I've met people in my life that would probably cave my face in. There's been altercations that I've been in, but they didn't have the ability to hurt another individual. It takes a certain type of person to be able to punch someone in the face and mean it, to really want to put your hand to the back of their fucking head. You know what I mean? It takes a certain type. And I was a hard person. The way I would describe myself growing up is I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet in your life. To the nicest, but at the same time there's an opposite. I'm the meanest, cruelest motherfucker you can imagine. Like, I would peel the skin off of someone's face and not even bat an eye if I felt the crime fit to punish you. And then I did that. Like when I was 15 years old, I started chasing drug dealers away from the house and saying, no more, don't come back here. You come back here again, you're taking away from my brother, and my sisters aren't eating because you're fucking a greedy cunt that wants to sell my parents drugs because you know they're an easy mark. So I would chase them away, and then I remember the first time I was 17 years old, I stuck up for my stepfather. He was downtown at a bar, and he had got jumped, and I went home just to change of clothes, because I'm partying all the time, never staying at home, because I didn't like that home environment. I wanted to be away from there as much as possible. So I go home one Saturday morning to get a change of clothes, and I find out midday my stepfather had just been jumped downtown at a dive bar called Nico's, just on Princess Street, just a rundown bar. And I go down to get him, and sure as shit he's there, but he points to the back of the bar and says, that's one of the guys that jumped me. And I look, and it's just a long corridor where there's side tables, and it kind of opens up at the back, where there's a pool table in the bar and benches and more tables. So I walk to the back of this bar, and at this time, fuck, I'm lucky if I'm 150 pounds. And I walk up to this guy, and he's probably about 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds, big, long beard, leather vest on, biker-looking dude. And I walk up to him, I look him in the eyes, and I say, "Did you hit my father?" And I come up, you know, I'm about here on, you know what I mean? I'm a head shorter than
He's probably shocked that this fucking kid has the balls to even approach him.
Me.
Right.
Because I'm just a kid, and a scrawny little kid.
Yeah.
And I walk up to him, and I look him in the eye. He won't even look at me. He's looking above me at the back, at the men, because I came down with a biker. I came down with a person that was affiliated with Satan's Choice.
Okay.
I was at the house that drove me down. So anyway, he's looking to see what's good. He feels more threatened by the people that are way up the front of the bar than this kid standing in front of him. And I said to him, "Did you hit my father?" And like I said, he won't even acknowledge me. So I take a step back, and I clear my sinuses, and I say, "All right, now I'm going to show you what it feels like to be hit." And I unload a flurry of punches on this guy. In under a minute, I probably hit this gentleman about 200 times. And I beat him all the way into the corner of the bar. I have him unconscious. He slides down where he's onto a bench. He's unconscious. And I'm hooking him. Left hook, left hook, left hook, left hook. And he's sliding along the bench way bigger.
And you're moving him.
And I'm just feeding him. Finally, two girls come and grab me from each arm and say, "You have to stop it, son. You're going to kill him." And as this, my adrenaline is going 90. That's why I love fighting so much, because adrenaline was my drug. It was a natural high.
Yep.
The adrenaline you get before a fight, during a fight, and after a fight, you get that rush. You're quicker, you're stronger, you're more alert, you feel almost superhuman. So now as they're pulling me out, my adrenaline's flowing, the guys in the bar, and I yell at them, "You bunch of fucking greasy cocksucking cowards. Any one of you fuckers ever touch my father again, I'll come down here and I'll fucking kill you." And I leave. And I feel on top of the world. I just stuck up for a guy who beat me my whole life and needed me. So at that point in time, I felt grown up.
Yeah, sure.
So I go out, I party.
It was your bar mitzvah.
I have a great night that night.
Yeah.
Great night.
Yep.
Go home party, Sunday morning, I come home, get a change of clothes again, and sure as shit, there's that fucking affiliate with the bikers again. He's been waiting now this time 2.5 hours, hoping that I show up, because my stepfather had just got jumped again. Down at me, he goes down at the bar. This time he's not there. There's a pool hall that was on the corner of Princess and Clergy. Upstairs it was called the Wrap Up. And that's where he is. So just coincidentally, the guy's there at the house. He drives me down, tells me again. I'm like, no fucking way. You know, I'm a 17-year-old kid. I said, this
is fucking too much for breakfast. You haven't even had breakfast yet.
So they pick me up. They drive me down. We go upstairs to this pool hall, which is above the Works restaurant now. And I grab my stepfather and buddy. We come back down. We go back to his Camaro and drive away. Well, it just so happens as we get onto Princess Street, one of the guys that jumped my father, he was one of the bigger drug dealers in the city at the time. He's passed away now. His name was Johnny Harpel, but he was a notorious drug dealer in the city.
Gotcha.
And my stepfather pointed at him and said, "That's one of the guys that jumped me."
Jesus fucking Christ! Your fucking father is just winding you up.
So, that was your go-to. So now I walk up to this guy and I say the same thing. "You hit my father." Well, this guy acknowledges me. You know what I mean? As soon as I say, "Did you hit my father?" he takes a swing at me. He takes a swing. I duck underneath it. Boom! Put one on his jaw, and he kind of staggers and he takes off running. Well, when he takes off running, I give chase after him. I catch him right in the middle of the intersection. I grab him by his left shoulder. I pull him back. And boom! I plant one right on his nose, and fucking his nose busts wide open. Blood squirts all the way up my arm. He hits the ground. I stop traffic. I look, and there's a security guard getting out of his car saying, "What are you doing?" I see him. I turn. I take off, and I start walking towards my stepfather and his buddy, but they're on the sidewalk. As I'm walking towards them, they're yelling at me, "Get him, get him, get him." So I think he's gotten up, he's coming at me. So I cover up, I turn around, and there he is in the middle of the intersection doing a fucking chicken. Well, now I panic, you know what I mean? and I take off running. So as I take off running, this is kind of classic because there's an older group of guys that was at this time. It was Corey Green, Mark Savage, Rod Easton. There was just a clique of people.
Sure.
That was an older clique than me, and they didn't really like me. So this one guy, Mark Savage, he thought, this is a scrawny little dude, but he's beaking because he's a few years older, saying he's going to kick my ass when he sees me.
Wait. This is on the heels of you just knocking this guy out?
This is on the heels, but this is, because now I take off running.
Okay. So he just
I
sees you running on a different street.
No. As I take off running, I'm cutting through streets, back alleys, and I get towards like Skeleton Park on my way home because I live down by Regi.
Right.
Well, as I come, now I got blood all up my arm. I've been running my ass off, sprinting. I got snot bubbles, been foaming at the mouth, and I come up on a group of this group of guys. As I come up, hey, you motherfucker. You looking for me? You want to scrap me? And they're just looking, you know what I mean?
You look like you look like you have rabies in this fucking moment.
No, we got no problem. We got no problem with you. So anyway,
literally, they know you're knocking out fucking grown men night after night.
I said, you better keep your mouth shut, and I carry on. By the time I get home, there had already been a carload of guys that were at my house threatening my mother, saying that I'm a dead man for knocking out this drug dealer. And then it just started from there, as my reputation. Because, like I said, I was just 17-year-old.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It sounds like you've already set off of. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason the guy took a swing at you immediately, is because he heard that so-and-so's son was at the bar the night before fucking straightening some other guy out.
The guy was affiliated now. He didn't help my situation any.
Right.
Because this guy that waited at the house, now he's telling all these people and his friends and so on, and the people that are in that circle, that I'm like a ninja. You don't want to fuck with this guy. So now these drug dealers are paying people. There's a bounty on my head. You know what I mean? There's a lot of times I was in a situation that if I didn't win the fight, I'm probably not going to be here today, or I might not be the same person I am.
Right. You're on disability.
Yeah, I'm definitely disabled. So, and needless to say, they eventually got me. I was actually downtown at, what was it called? Before it was the Palace, Muldoon's. It was Muldoon's nightclub, which later turned into the Palace nightclub. But we're down there drinking underage, and we leave there.
Fucking, this is all happening. You're still a kid. Okay.
I'm with a few buddies. This is a few days later. I'm actually at a party, and then everyone knows, because I didn't hide. They're going to get me. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm kamikaze. At this time of my life, the life I live, I don't expect I'm going to see 25.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I've come to terms with that, and I'm okay with that. But till 25, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to have as much fun as possible.
Sure. And feeling invincible.
Well, yeah, I feel invincible. Yeah, there's
right.
a few things in life that happened that had to made me feel humane. I'm like, okay, you're not invincible. Slow down.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that took a long time.
Yeah.
Probably not until my 30s. But
some of that's beating, some of that's aging.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
So I'm at the bar, and while I leave a party, we go down to the bar, and someone made a call saying Pierre just headed down to this bar. Well, anyway, long story short, I come out of the bar, and with a group of buddies, we're about to get into an altercation with a group from the West End. Bunch of preppy kids with a bunch of girls. My one buddy wants the girl. They start chirping, and we want to rip them apart, but they know we're a bunch of young thugs, and they don't want any part.
Sure.
Well, right then and there, all of a sudden, like a bunch of carloads and trucks pull up, and a bunch of people jump out, and they got chains and bats, and all of a sudden they yell out, "Who the fuck's Pierre Moore?" I'm like, oh no. And as soon as I see that, I kind of just start tiptoeing away, and I go to run, and people from the West End, they said, "That's him right there.
Fucking cocksuckers."
Kick his fucking ass. And I fucking take off. And now I want to go back to Muldoon's, the bar I had just left. Well, as I get to the doors, the owner's closing the door, locking it, and I grab the fucking double handles to the double door, and I shake it. I said, "Let me the fuck in. They're going to fucking kill me." That's boom. I get smoke from behind, and they just start beating on me. Like I said, I'm about 150 pounds. These are all grown men, all drug dealers.
Fucking bats, chains, and
just
everything else.
fucking hammering on me. And they beat me to the ground, and all I can think is, I got to get up. I got to get off the ground. So I just curled up as much as possible, and I just push myself up because I don't want them all stomping on me and booting me. So this goes on for a little bit. Finally, my buddies try to intervene. It's whenever they come, because there's such a big mob. Not all the mob can get to me. Only 5, 6, 7 guys can actually get to me before
which is
they create a half moon
right.
around me, and I'm in this cubby. So then I've never seen this guy again. One of the biggest guys I've ever seen in my life. So I just hear him say, "Leave him alone. Get off of him." He just starts grabbing these guys, pulling them off me one at a time. And I kind of just look up and thankful, you know what I mean? And the things kind of die down. And he was a taxi driver. He had to get in his taxi 1 foot at a time. Just a
big fucking galoot,
man,
right?
You know, which I was thankful. Everything happens for a reason.
Fucking right.
Well, lo and behold, I bump into kind of like the same group of guys again that I gave a hard time the day before. Now I'm all beat up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm beat up pretty good. And it's the same group that I seen when I said, well, now we're around the corner of Princess and Montreal Street. I just got chilled.
Oh, this is the group that saw you home and
yeah.
at the
There's
mouth?
only 3 of them at this time. I think it's Corey Green, Rodney Easton. I can't remember who the other guy was. Well, now I approach them. They can see I'm beat up. I'm not the way I was a couple of days ago.
Right. Blood's in the water.
So they kind of start chirping me and kind of come on to me. And I just put my arms up and I said, listen, you want to give her to me? You want to fill your boots? I said, you ain't doing nothing to me that just wasn't done 2 fucking minutes ago. I said, fucking have at her. But no, after you have at her, I will heal. And I will fucking hunt each and every one of you cocksuckers fucking down. Well, right as that happens, the cops roll up behind me around Montreal Street and they stop. And they say, what happened? And I said, listen, I don't really know what happened. I left the bar.
Good fucking boy, man.
I get fucking, I got suckered from behind. I don't have any idea what happened. They said, okay, well, do you want to go to the hospital? I said, no. They said, well, we're not leaving you here. We'll take you home. All right.
It's funny. I was in Wasaga Beach, and I had a buddy who was boxing. His cousin was like owned a gym and was like some Canadian silver medalist or whatever. So I guess he thought that he was entitled. So he's shooting his mouth off at the bar, in way over our heads. We got thrown out of the bar. We're kids, not fucking a shredded pit bull like you. But we're outside, and I end up. Another guy got kicked out of the bar at the same time, and the guy who got kicked out fucking helping us out is on the floor just getting pumped. And I walked over to one of the guys pumping him, and I was like, fuck, I gotta go. I fucking popped him, and then I was fucking 3 or 4 guys were on me just pumping me, like just fucking giving me windmills and pumping me. And then finally I fell against the fence and fell over the fence, and that like broke it up. But I was wearing tearaway pants at the time. So they fucking took my pants, right? Somehow I got my pants back, and I'm walking down the street just face full of blood, carrying my pants. And some asshole's with his date, and he goes, look at this fucking dickhead, he doesn't even have any pants. And I was like, listen, I still got enough to kick your fucking ass, pal. And that's when the ambulance pulled up. Oh, God. That's fucking so, and this is all happening, you're 16, 17, you've just pumped fucking, this is all happening in a span of about 4 or 5, a week.
4 or 5 days a week, that's correct.
And then so.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, it really is. And then, prior to this, how many fights do you think you've been in?
Well, through that all the time in school. Like I've been at 8 public schools, 4 high schools.
Oh yeah, that says it.
I fought constantly. I was always getting expelled. I was rewarded for it. Like I never got in trouble for fighting. If I got expelled for kicking the shit out of a kid at school, here's 5. That was the only time any affection was shown towards me by the person.
What a crazy reward system.
By the person I was craving affection from the most.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it was lots. It's crazy. One day, my buddies and I were sitting down trying to think of how many people must hate me, and it was a rude awakening because, let's say, I kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tyler here no longer likes me.
Yeah.
You don't like me. He doesn't like me. Ryan doesn't like me. Your mom and dad, the closest people, no longer like me. So I'm thinking.
Wait, why did you say kick the shit out of me? Why couldn't you kick the shit out of Tyler?
I don't pick on small guys. So it dawned on me.
I get you. It's like a ripple effect through a fucking family.
And then,
He's already kicked the shit out of me, so
realistically, I've assaulted anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people. So when I'm thinking, there's this.
That's, by the way, if you're doing the math, that's 6.5 years of solid assaults.
So absolutely, every day. There is a period of my life where I assaulted someone every day. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it would be 3 people a day, easy. 100%. I from all the way down from Princess Street, Princess and Division, to the waterfront.
Yeah.
On both sides of the street, every sidewalk square, I've been in a physical altercation.
That is fucking like the star. You got a star on every fucking patch of the sidewalk.
Division Street to Berry Street, where the hub is.
Yeah.
I was banned. People get banned from bar. I was banned from the hub. I was not allowed on that block. On that part of the city, we're going to arrest you. You're not allowed there. Not charged with anything. They just said you were banned from there. You're not allowed there.
The cops said that.
The cops said that.
So it wasn't just like that. The bars banned you individually.
The bars kicked me up. They wouldn't stop me.
Right.
I got kicked out of the hub Christmas Eve '99. I left the job. I was I was working as a doorman eventually, and they put me on suspension for another story that had happened. And I ended up getting in an altercation, hurting someone pretty bad in the bar on Christmas Eve '99. I was leaving. One of the owners were walking in, and he seen me, and he's pointing at me. He seen that the guy I had just assaulted was being carried, one person on each arm of him, dragging him. I was behind him.
Noodle legs.
Dragging him out of the bar.
Yeah.
And when the owner walked in, I'm coming up because they're kind of talking to me, and he put two and two together that I was the one who did it, and I was notorious for doing this, right? And at this time, he just had enough, and he pointed in my buddies. Now we spent a lot of money. They were there 4 nights a week. Right?
Sure.
And at the actual
Putting their kids through college.
So he said, I don't give a fuck how much money him and his buddies spend here. He's gone for 6 months. And I hated this guy. I hated the way people with money, because I came from nothing, the way they treated people, and the way I looked at it. Money didn't define you.
Right.
The person you were defined you. So now I kind of lose it. Now you've got to figure, he's got 6 to 8 doormen on payroll right now, 3 managers that are big boys that are probably ex-doormen.
Yeah. And
I walk up to him, I said, you going to kick me out, motherfucker? And I grab him right by his throat, and I slam him against his own fucking bar, where the wicket where you pay to get in. And I look him dead in the eyes. I said, what's your money doing for you now? I cocked my fist. I look him dead in the eyes. I said, who's the fucking better man now, cocksucker? And as that, the one manager that's my buddy says, Pierre, do you want to go to jail? And that was always a fucking trigger word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jail. I kind of calmed down. I looked him dead in the eyes. I said, fucking 6 months, bud. You might as well kick me out for life. I said, you ain't got anybody fucking here that's going to stop me from coming in. And I fucking carry on my way. And for the next year
Which
or so,
was true.
They obviously,
they would have stopped you right then and there.
all the time. Yeah. I mean, how do you feel? You got all your doormen that you pay to protect patrons. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the one person that fucking paid you to work the door, he's probably listening. It's just fucking cheaper to fucking to employ this guy. He's burning through our bouncers.
Your life sounds like a video game. It's like walking up Princess Street, fought 3 guys there. Next level. You gotta get to the bar.
I can't tell you how. I haven't jumped quite a few times.
Of course, because some people want, when you punch out 1,500 to 2,000 people, some people want some retribution and come for a call for a guy.
And sometimes there was a scenario. This is actually a funny story. It's getting off topic because I kind of wanted to go back to the altercation, to how I got kicked out of the hub.
Sure.
For life, but I'm at my buddy. I'm at home one night. My buddy calls me up. He's dating this girl, and her sister's a model, and they're kind of new to Kingston. They're going to school here, and he asked me if I want to come over and have some drinks with them. So I say, absolutely. I'm on my way. So I get over there. We're sitting down. There's the 4 of us. We're drinking and whatnot. Next thing you know, he says to me, him and his girlfriend, they're going to take off downtown for a bit. Do I mind staying here, keeping her sister company? She's gorgeous, broad. And I said, absolutely, not a problem. You know what I mean? Thanks a lot. So, long story short, they leave. We're upstairs in our bedroom, and we're kind of having fun, whatnot. And the doorbell rings. Mm-hmm. And I look at the window. I'm like, it's just a car. I said, don't worry about it. And she goes to get up, and I kind of put her back down. I said, no, don't worry about it. Well, next thing I know, she springs up. She's got her pants on. She's carting at the door, and I'm kind of sitting on the edge of the bed, kind of confused as what's going on here. We're busy. We're having a good time watching. So I wait a few minutes. And I'm like, no fucking way. So now I come down the stairs. She's on the couch, sucking face with some guy. And he just looked like a dweeb, a little guy, and another guy. And I'm like, you dirty girl. You like, and there's a few choice words that are going through my head. You know what I mean? So I just walked to I looked at Buddy, and all I blurted out is, how's my dick case? I walk to the kitchen, grab the phone off the wall, and I dial a taxi. Hang up the phone, wait outside for the taxi. Taxi shows up, and I'm drunk because I've been drinking there for hours. I say, take me down to the Kokomo. So I wheel into the Kokomo. I barely even remember walking into the Kokomo. I'm annihilated. So I walk into the Kokomo, have some beers, and I don't know. There must have been some costume party, some little Mardi Gras that was going on. But as I leave Kokomo, right by the PG Hotel in Max Milk, I see this guy which is wearing a big frilly hat, and he's dressed like a Three Musketeer. And there's a bunch of girls around him, and he's frolicking and happy. The girls are laughing and giggling. Well, I'm fucking player hating because I struck out hard. So I walk onto this motherfucker like heat-seeking. I don't know if you know where Kokomo was and where the PG Hotel.
Don't even, it doesn't matter.
It's about, I don't know, 1,000 meters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just lock on to him. I come walking up. And
from a half a mile away.
Half a mile away. And I full momentum, one shot, and he turns into a projectile. He flies into the air, his feet straight out, he's stiff as a fucking board, hits the ground, and there's a mob of people here. And I just start huffing and puffing. And people are panicked. They don't even know. Like, they think he's dead. You know, I'm like, ah! People are screaming. I'm looking at people, who wants some? Who wants some? Next thing you know, the trigger word, somebody call the police. Well, when they said that, boom, I calm down.
Right, you sober up.
Well, as soon as I start running, I show fear. Well, the group now gains confidence, so people start giving chase, right? So I start running up Brock Street, and I cut down Wellington Street to an underground parking lot. I cut through there, and I get my back to the elevator shaft, and I'm puffing and puffing. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm talking to myself, like, well, for one, you know what I mean? You're being chased. For two, you're hiding. I'm like, hiding? Like, fuck this, I don't hide. So now I come right up from the elevator shaft and kind of where the alley was. Well, the guys that were chasing me, they all don't run the same speed. So when there's one guy coming up, two guys behind him, and I don't even see the other three coming up yet. Well, they come up, next thing I know, boom, I just start teeing off.
Two things. This reminds me of that scene in The Watchmen where the guy with no face goes to jail, and they're like, finally, we got you. And he goes, you're in here with me.
Something like that, too. I was incarcerated for a little while.
And then the second thing is, when you said the Kokomo, you're telling this story, and the whole time I've got the Beach Boys down in Kokomo.
The Beach Boys is right. This about.
Go, tell me, you're in the alley.
I'm teeing off with these guys, and well, now I got. I don't know, it all happened so fast. Well, I got my hands planted against the side of a concrete wall, and I'm being pelted from all over. You know?
Right.
They got me in a half circle again, just ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, okay, enough. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, okay, enough. Now I tell myself, listen, you fucking idiot, they're not stopping.
Right.
You know what I mean? Take your hands off the fucking wall
and
turn and hit one of these cocksuckers. So now I kind of rage. I said I fucking had enough. Boom. I push off the wall. I turn and grab the first guy. Bam. Drop him. Grab the next one. Bam. And then, you know what I mean? The other ones kind of fucking scurry away. So lo and behold, I deserve that. But I find out these guys are bragging about how they kicked my ass. You know
right.
I mean?
And everybody knows who you are now.
At this point in time, people know who I am. So I find out what I had done. I wake up the next morning. I don't really remember anything. I wake up, it's like I fell off the couch 6 times, smashed my face off the coffee table each time. I'm black and blue. I don't really remember what happened. It starts coming to me in bits and pieces. So anyway, I hear the story, and I see the guys, which kind of fucking ironic. I see them all at the Kokomo one night. And I go up to the bar, and I notice, I kind of sit back, I see them, I know they're kind of nervous, you can kind of you feel the tension in the air, because I got a lot of buddies.
Oh,
being a tough guy, you hang out with tough guys.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you know, so you wouldn't want my group to come and fight your group, because they'd just be a fucking, you know what I mean, it's a title issue. You know?
Right.
So, which I never did that, I never played on that. So anyway, I see what they're drinking, I buy them all around a beer. Right? And I see the guy that I buck with one shot, and he's
a musketeer.
A musketeer, he's a tiny little guy. He's 5 foot fuck all, maybe 125 pounds, and I feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world. You know what I mean? Because I assaulted this guy for no reason whatsoever, and my own fucking hatred towards a fucking guy that's going to have a great night. You know? I became the guy that I despised, which later in life I started sticking up for. You know what I mean? Right. So I buy them all a drink, and I walk up to them, and I say, listen, guys, I want you to know right now, I have no animosity or no fucking grudge against any of you guys. But I'm going to tell you 2 things right now. I ever hear any one of you motherfuckers bragging about how you fucking kicked my ass, you're going to get a knock at your door. Okay? Number 2, you ever jump a guy again because there's that mob mentality.
Yeah.
And they don't know when to let up. Once one guy keeps going, another guy keeps going, and they wouldn't stop. Had I not raged out, who knows how far they would have taken.
Oh, you know what? If it wasn't a guy that was accustomed to getting
his ass kicked or
flogged since he was 3, then, you know, maybe one of those guys is doing jail for the rest of their life.
So many times I thought how lucky I was that people got up. I dropped some people.
I feel like you were lucky.
And I prayed. You know what I mean? There's times where I'm in the back of the cop car, you know what I mean? Right, get up, motherfucker. Please, get up.
Right.
I've been lying there for a long time. And so, anyway, I say, you do that. You guys did the right thing, but you took it too far. Here's where you went wrong. You know what I mean? And I shook their hand when bygones were bygones.
How old are you when this is going on?
At that time, just still a kid.
18, 19?
I don't think I worked at the hub yet.
Yeah. But I'm just, you know, you talked about just before, like, being wise beyond your years. But even to have that maturity to be like, hey, I'm not mad at you. It went a little too far. You know, here's a round of drinks. Don't ever say that shit about me again. But there was like there's a maturity in your mania. That's all I'm saying.
Because it wasn't. It would be unfair for me to unless I was going to fight them then and there, right on, fair. Well, I
Right.
just got my wits about me. Like, I
Yeah.
was slobbering drunk when I did that. And
Sure.
But I would have done better had I
Of
not
course.
been so intoxicated
Yeah.
at the time, right? So,
Well, also, like, there was a point where you were saying, like, you had just come off of knocking out this biker who was hitting on your dad, which is a whole another psychological bunch of baggage it would take a while to unpack. You just knocked out this drug dealer guy, and then you roll up on a set of kids. Like, do you feel like, at what point are you like, I mean, and you're expressing it now about these guys, but it's like, I'm already knocking men out. It's like, you're not in my league anymore.
yeah,
You know?
it wasn't. There's a few times where I headhunted big guys.
Yeah.
Before I started sticking up for bullies and groups of people, there's a point where I stopped fighting people my own age altogether.
Right.
And then people my size, men my size,
Yeah.
to where men that were, colossal men,
Right.
to now more than one guy. You know what I mean? Like, I would call on 3, 4, 5 guys at a time, lots, if I felt that they were looking for trouble. And I love the heat of the battle. I didn't give a fuck win or lose. As long as I get the bang, let's go. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And I'll wake up tomorrow, I'll fucking do it again. You know what I mean? Let's bang. Let's bang. Let's bang. That's what
Like you said, you're addicted to it.
Yeah, it was my, I didn't, like I said, I didn't start doing drugs till I was in my 20s. That was my drug. It was just a natural high. To this day, like, even right now, telling about it, I relive it. I feel
Oh,
like,
yeah, I can see
you know
it
what I mean?
firing
You know what I mean? I just you know what I mean? Just, yeah.
I was in the hotel last night, like just thinking about this and stuff, and I was getting like fucking just psyched up. It juices you up, man.
I haven't insulted anyone in a long time, but what you said about that movie, I ended up getting incarcerated for assaulting someone extremely bad. That person will never be the same for the rest of their life. There's a few people that are now gimped up and they aren't going to be the same for the rest of their life. Yeah, I feel bad, but most of them are bad people. They say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. It's not like I'm going to fucking a varsity fucking football game or basketball game and banging.
Oh, maybe you saved a hooker from getting raped. I don't know if you did.
Banging at a bunch of yuppies that are trying to live a good life. You know?
Right? Yep.
I'm playing in shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Tell the story about telling the Collins Bay what led you into
Okay.
attention.
Okay, the Collins Bay story. So anyway, that's another time. My life's fucking pretty good at the time. I split up with my ex, one of my exes, and she's up on. But prior to splitting up, a guy who was affiliated with the Hells Angels at the time. And then they had a stronghold, a house here that was all surveillance, and that's where they sold their drugs out of and did that sort of thing, right?
Gotcha.
Well, he's giving drugs to my girlfriend while we're together, and I give him a warning saying, listen, don't fly. You know what I mean? At this time, I've been going to after hours. I've had altercations with every bike gang, right? Right from young, 19 years old. I've already had problems with the Banditos and the Rock Machine. You know what I mean? I've been surrounded by the outlaws my whole life because they were right down the street from where I grew up on Adelaide Street. They had a clubhouse there, and that's where I played. That was my playground. It was right next door to a biker's clubhouse.
Right. And then they also know about you. They know who you are.
Yeah, they know. And then the same choice. So that is the life. The circle I was just always around. So
Sure. And this guy probably thought, listen, I'm on.
Well, this time, if you guys got a chance, he's best buddies with Carl Bursey. And this time in his life, this guy thinks he's on top of the world.
That's it. Untouchable.
He thinks he's super biker. He's driving down the 401 in a high-speed chase with a fucking rocket launcher. You know what I mean? There's books about this guy. There's in stories. You can look this guy up. He's legit. But he's saying this guy's so fucking crazy that he's saying he's a member of the Hells Angels when the Hells Angels don't recognize him as a member of the Hells Angels because he's just too much of a loose fucking cannon.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this guy's his buddy, so he feels no one can touch this guy, right? But I don't give a fuck. That's so, but I don't care. You know what I mean? If that's what you fucking something wrong.
You're not impressed with the resume.
So anyway, long story short, we split up, and at this point in time, we've been split up for a little bit. And I'm at a bar with my buddies, and I'm dating another model. You know what I mean? A girl she's younger than my ex, prettier than my ex, has more money than my ex. But I'm a man of principle.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I leave what's filthy McNasty's. I start walking towards the hub because we're going to go get a poutine or whatever after the bar.
Poutines get so thrown in these awful stories so casually.
Oh, I got some stories at the poutine place. I got some serious jokes at the poutine place. Holy fuck.
It's the one thing that really makes it Canadian.
Don't even get me started.
Guys, 1 second. Like, there's a lot of background noise going on right now in here. Like, should we maybe move to another location?
If we can.
So fucking good, man.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to...
Can we? I just don't want to be responsible. Okay, so there was a brief interruption there. We were in the the breakfast room at the Comfort Inn, and we got the bums rush out of there. So Pierre was nice enough to let us come into his house. He's got a beautiful place. He is far past the 19-year-old madman who was running around knocking guys out, or at least the house gives off that vibe. So he came in. These guys, hey guys, you got to use coasters. I'm like, this guy's fucking making us use coasters now. But, you know, once upon a time, he's running around loosening the guy's teeth.
It's their custom-made table and chairs.
Yeah. And he's like, I got a tattoo that says fearless. The only person I'm afraid of is my wife. We all understand that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know where we left off. It was a whole lot of fun. But do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was touching base about what got me incarcerated to begin with, and I was talking about my ex and a person that sold narcotics and had a stronghold.
That's right. The the biker guy, acting like a big deal.
That's right. So, like they said, they have a stronghold. Their house is all set up. There's surveillance and stuff outside. They got the screens in there. You know, and they handle the business. They're like a branch of a biker gang, right?
Right.
So they're like what they call a hang-around, someone that wants to be a patch member. Like I said, this guy Carl, guy that he was underneath, he was just on top of the world.
Sure,
he could do whatever he wanted. So I warned him to stay away from what my ex at the time.
Sure,
because he was feeding her free narcotics, wanting to get in her pants, right?
Right.
And he was a few years older, so I warned him. So anyway, I'm leaving the bar, and at this present time, I'm dating a gorgeous girl. She's a step up from my ex. Person that's based on principle. So I'm leaving Filthy's, heading towards the hub, so I'm going south, and I'm with two of my buddies, and I bump into an acquaintance of my ex, and I don't know what possessed me or what come over me, but I asked him, where is she, what she's up to, and this guy was pretty intimidated, and he didn't want to lie to me.
Yeah,
so he
didn't want to set you off either.
He told me where she happened to be, and that she was with this guy that I asked to stay away from her. So anyway, it just happens to be around the corner from where I am, right from the hub. And I kind of just, something goes in my mind, and tunnel vision, and I just start feeling there. And I asked my one buddy, he was like a ride or die kind of buddy.
Yeah.
I said, are you coming with me? Well, he wasn't 100% positive.
About this
that buddy was feeding me the truth and about this one, right? So he kind of lagged back. Well, when he gets to the corner of the block, I'm already midway down the block, and I've arrived to the house, and I can see the cameras, and I'm looking up at them, and you just boot the door in. So
fuck. You kicked the door in of the fucking biker club.
Yes. When I kicked the door in, my buddy had just gotten to the corner, and he seen me kick the door in, and he just panicked, and he just took off.
Oh, damn. I guess it was die.
I don't even acknowledge it, right? I don't know this at this point in time because I've got tunnel vision. So as I kick in the door, I come in, and there's two guys there, and one guy's standing with a baseball bat, and you know what I mean? He's gunning, and they're in shock. They would never expect that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just kind of unheard of. So I just feline right towards him. I lock onto his eyes. I just walk right up. I said, "What the fuck are you going to do with that?" And I grab the head of the bat, and I yank it from him. I say, "Where the fuck is Gord?" He said, "Gord's upstairs." So now I leave them, I turn, start walking up the stairs. Well, now that people upstairs, I hear a commotion. Well, this guy gets up, and he starts to come to the top of the stairs.
Wait a second. Just the guys who you just fucking disarmed, what are they doing?
Nothing. They don't know what to do. You know what I mean? They're deer in the headlights. They're just shocked.
Are they just maybe they're assuming we don't know who this guy is, but he must be important. So
once that happens,
sure.
Everywhere, at this point in my life, everywhere I went, I act like every bar I walked in, everywhere I act like I own the joint. You know what I mean? It's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just did what I wanted. So I start walking up the stairs. I realize
you don't strike me as the type of person that asks for forgiveness, though.
I realize I got the bat in my hand, and I don't need the bat, right? So I just throw the bat behind me. As I'm coming up the stairs, he comes to the top of the stairs, and as I'm coming up, he has an elevated advantage. Well, he tries to kick me in the face, right? Well, when he boots, I reach out, I grab his foot, and I just pull him down, and I come on top, and I pounce on him. And I beat this man within an inch of his life. I just throttle him where I beat him unconscious till I keep beating him conscious while the people there
beating him in and out of conscious.
Wake him back up. And he gets on his belly and he crawls on his hands and knees as quick as he can down the hall, scurries into the bedroom, across the bed, and he dives headfirst out a second-story window.
Holy
But
shit.
this, I'm chasing after him. He goes at the window, and I'm kind of in disbelief because I'm intoxicated and I'm amped up, and you know what I mean. I snap out. You kind of just black out. So I'm kind of just standing there as I track. So now I turn around, and lo and behold, there's fucking Buddy standing with the baseball bat again. And I just look at him. Are you fucking here? Are you kidding me? So I grab the bat again and I give him a little bonk. Because I'm not there for him.
He still doesn't know. He's got the bat now, and he's still not swinging on
Oh
him.
no!
He's still
Now
in
I just grab the
disbelief.
bat in his hand. You know what I mean? Just
Bonk
reach out
him.
with the bat. I don't even take it from him this
Right.
time, right? So I just bonk him. And I turn, and I had bought my ex this fucking Pomeranian before we had split up. A little fucking yappy little dog for like $1,200. Well, I fucking scoop up the dog. I said, I'm taking it with me. You know what I mean? The dog's name was fucking Peanut. This Peanut's coming with me. I'm fucking at it. She's screaming, no, you can't take Peanuts or whatever. So now I can.
Oh, so she was there.
She was there. So I completely forget that fucking Buddy do at the window. I come outside. I come downstairs, and she's calm. She's kind of talking to me. Well, when I come out the front door, she's saying, I just got to go. I walk out the front door of this place, and there this guy is lying on the front lawn, and he's kind of hobbled over, moaning and groaning, just gushing blood. And just like they said, the little voices on your shoulders, the good guy, the bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Well, now I give her back the dog, and I start beelining towards him again, and this guy here saying, fucking finish him. You know what I mean? Finish him. So now I'm walking over here, and he's kind of on one knee, hobbled over, and I plan on punting him. You know what I mean? I'm
Yep.
fucking... And just as I walk by, I hear a little voice in my head that just yells, screams out, don't. So I just walked by him, you know what I mean? It was like within an instant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything happens in a fraction of a second.
Thank God.
So yeah, thank God. So I turn, and when she sees him like that, they start screaming. People start screaming, this big commotion, lights are flickering on in the neighborhood, people start coming out in the step. When I start getting amped up, well, I'm yelling at these people, fucking mind your own fucking business. Get back in your house, I know where you fucking live. You know what I mean?
There's got to be somebody who's like, good, those bikers are getting what they deserve.
Yeah, well, like there were some people I knew around the corner. When I walked by, they were out there, and they're like, "Don't say anything." You know what I mean? Don't get his attention, because if you don't like, they're like, "There he is. Don't say anything. Don't say anything." So now I'm thinking, I'm downtown. I live out here in the West End again, staying at a fucking with a buddy, staying at like a bachelor house. You know what I mean? Just a frat house.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking, never in a million fucking years are the police going to be called. Am I ever going to face any fucking legal?
Right. Those aren't the ramifications you're expecting.
No,
you're
no,
expecting
no.
a carload
I'm
of guys.
expecting a carload of guys,
Right.
bunch of bikers, you know what I mean?
Right.
Motorcycles. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because if anyone fucking, there's a just cause. He was warned, so I'm really to fight every single one of these motherfuckers to get my point across. You know, because he's in the wrong.
Right.
So by the time I get home, the police have already been at my house. So I'm like, no way, you got to be fucking shitting me. So the next morning, I fucking call my lawyer, and he says he'll look into it.
You're on speed dial.
Yeah, and I said, Pierre. But prior to that, I'd only ever been in trouble with the law once for assault.
Okay.
I've been pretty lucky. Like I said, the people I assaulted were shady people,
Right.
characters. So
most of them did
you
it.
want to
Top
talk
sport,
about,
Paul.
yeah, not going to get off topic, but I've had the police, narcs and police, pull me over between the age of 16 and 25 and ask me, do you know so-and-so? I'd say, maybe. They say, if you see him, cave his fucking face in.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like I said, the circle I traveled, they loved that I did it. They loved it. They had a person, you know what I mean? It was just different. It's a way of life back then. Thank God cell phones weren't around, because I've been locked up for the rest of my entire life. Right?
Fucking right.
So I find out that there was two people that made a complaint. I said, well, they can't show up. They can't. And so he called me back the next day and says, well, there's actually 4 witnesses that say it, and the police are, now there's a warrant for your arrest. They're going to be looking for you. And I said, all right, well, I'll turn myself in. So I'm still thinking, a little naive, that this is going to go away.
Yeah. Nobody's going to show up in court.
So I walk into the police shop. I get a nice suit and tie, and I clean up. You know, walk into the cop shop and I say, here, you guys are looking for me. And here I am. They arrest me. They book me. They send me to a detention center, and there I sit.
What is it? Why the suit and tie? Just because you know you're going to be
I know
released
I'm
in
gonna
that
be-
shit?
In court.
I know I'm going to go to court in that shit, right?
Nice.
So I got to go stand in front of a judge. I want to look respectable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any in them tomorrow. Well, like I said, I travel in that circle. And a lot of people hate police. Oh, cops are pigs and this and that. People are people. So anyway, fucking yeah, I wear the suit dress because I'm going to be respectable, because that's their environment. I don't want the book to be thrown in. I don't want to be ignorant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I walk in, and I'm not guilty. You know what I mean? I'm saying, I'm not pleading guilty to this because they're not going to show up. So I sit in the detention center for a while, because I think there's a good possibility that this is going to just go away. Well, we come to the conclusion that it's not going to go away, and I decided, well, I'll plead guilty to that. You know what I mean? I did do it. I mean, let's just get it done and over with. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm floored. And some people are worried that if I go to, because I've only been in the detention center for a short stint before.
Right.
And as a youth offender, I got in trouble as well. You know what I mean? As for violence, and then everything was violence. That was my MO. So anyway, I come to the conclusion that that's where I'm going to go. Well, they're afraid for repercussions because there's all kinds of bikers in there.
Of course. And they got you where they want you.
No, I have them where I want them.
Back to what we were saying later, it's like, you're in here with me.
You have to realize that on the street they have machine guns. And,
right.
You know what I mean? They got guns, grenades, everything, lots of resources. There's ways to sneak up. Or people. There are people, sniper rifles, anyway. And there, what do they have? They have a couple of shanks. And not only that, there are hundreds or thousands strong there. And whatever particular institution I may be in, at most, they might be 10 to a dozen. 15, you know what I mean? Which are all segregated in different blocks. They usually split them up or they keep them in one spot. So I knew that was my advantage. And not only that, now I go there, the society they live in, the code they live by, if they're going to stick up for a snitch, that's against their, you know what I mean? They're contradicting themselves now, you know what I mean? So now I'd have a group of people that were on my side. And I talked to a lot of people that lived in that world before I went while I'm sitting there in the detention center to get the gist of it. And it was funny because everything I said I wasn't going to do when I went there, like, I'm going to the penitentiary now, okay, I'm going to put my blinders on, mind my own business, do my own time. I'm only there for a short period of time. There's people that live there for the rest of their life. They're going to be there forever. They're never getting out. I'm going to get out. So mind your own business. Don't get caught up in anything. Don't gamble. Don't do drugs. I did everything. I tried 6 kind of drugs I had never done in my life when I was incarcerated. I walked around with my shirt off. I worked out twice a day. Everybody in the institution knew who I was, and it was kind of crazy. But I joined the Italian, French Italian, and I joined the Italian group as soon as I got there. They approached me, asked me what nationality I am. I told them, and that's the group I joined. And then I realized that you don't want to be part of a clique in there. Because let's say the 4 of us are part of the clique, but all our release dates are at a different time. And while we're us 4, we're all big guys, we're working out, we're strong. Well, we start giving other groups a hard time. The next thing you know, you get caught with a shank in your cell, and they ship you off to J Unit. You get out, and it's just him and I, and now there's a group of 5 that come after us.
Right, and it's for something that the guy that's already out started.
So then I said, no more cliques, and it was better for me to be friends with the Mexicans and the whites and the blacks and the Italians and the natives, because they all would have a dinner night, and they get food, and I would just interact with everyone, you know.
So when you told those Italian guys, like, listen, this isn't working out, or they just like, okay.
They started getting smaller, right?
Right.
Like the group, some guy got shipped off, one guy got out, and it got smaller, and I'm just like, you know what, I'd just rather do my own thing and be friends with everybody. You know what I mean? I'm not a social butterfly. I would just do whatever. And I was different. Like there was things I did not do in there that I said I wasn't going to do. I didn't want to be. I was going to keep my hands to myself. I was worried about turning. I got sentenced to 8 years and 4 months, but it all ran consecutively.
Wait! You got sentenced for 8 years and 4 months?
Yeah, because I got charged with a bunch of things. You know what I mean? So it all ran concurrent. So the most I got was 2 years. I got 28 months in total, or 32 months or 28 months. So I ended up doing 2 years. So, and I was worried about that escalating and me never being released. Right. So there were certain things I tried to do, so that didn't happen. I gave off a persona. You know what I mean? I'm a nice guy. Is it worth it? Like I told the Hamilton guys, if they come to my cell, if they have whatever problem they have with me, it better be a big enough problem where one user prepared to die, because I'm going to kill one of you. Guaranteed. And I did get in a situation where we were playing bridge, and gambling is a serious business, and drug debts, stuff like that is very serious, right? Which was weird because I became a drug dealer in jail because I wanted to make money, I wanted to hustle and have everything, right? Like in my cell, I had a PlayStation 64, TV, stereo. I went to a little store. It was like a miniature bachelor pad. And like I said, there's some of the prison guards were very attractive, and like I said, there's some people that think correctional officers is no good, they're bad, it's taboo, you can't talk to them. Right. Well, that was their rules. That's not my rule. So when a person pretty, like I don't know, that Akon song, I see you wind and grind and up on that pole. I know you see me looking at you, and you already know I want to fuck you. Well, as soon as I see her coming to do her walk, I rip my shirt off, do a couple push-ups, crank that on, and I have time to walk by myself. I'm staring at her. I said, you already know I want to fuck you. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And
Even prison guards can't help but get sexually harassed.
I just, you couldn't help it. The guys would be like, you can't do that. And I would always say, you have a problem with anything, here's my cell.
Take it up with me.
Yeah, come and talk to me. And it would never be the one person that didn't like it. It would always be a mediator, someone that said, you know what, some of the guys are getting together and they're talking and they really don't like you doing that. But we started it off about Kip Brennan. I was telling you about what we wanted to talk.
Former NHL Enforcer Kip Brennan played for Los Angeles Kings. I don't know if he played for maybe Anaheim. I'm not sure exactly where all he played.
He played for. He was a goon for a few teams. I didn't really follow him because I thought so much I didn't really care.
You were depressed.
Yeah,
He was also on Celebrity Rehab. He was banging one of the chicks that was on Celebrity Rehab and caused her to relapse. Good guy.
He's on Sports Science, so if you want to see something, he's with heavyweight champion Michael Moore, the former UFC heavyweight champion Rampage Jackson, and Kurt Brennan on Sports Science about punching. Who has the hardest punch, the boxing glove, the UFC glove, or the hockey glove, or they're dropping it, right? So he was legit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm downtown, and I'm about to get a scrap. I'm not about to scrap. I'm about to break up a scrap that's 2-on-1 because I didn't like seeing that. Well, as I'm pulling one guy off the 2-on-1, I get suckered blindsided. I turn, and it happens to be Kip Brennan. We start teeing off, and at this time, he has a lot of weight advantage on me.
Okay.
Well, it just so happens, I'm down.
What do you walk around at about anyway?
Right now?
I'd say about
Well, people were really disappointed when I got bigger. Because when I was scrapping all the time, I was a pretty strong kid. I was wiry. Speed is power. You know what I mean? I learned that if in the time it takes you to throw one, I'm going to hit you 10 times. You know what I mean? So he's on top of me, and the police end up coming up the straight outside Burger King on Prentice Street. And Kip Brennan. Yeah. And they pull us apart. Well, at that point in time, he had the advantage. You know what I mean? And there's no quitting me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop till I feel a vindication that I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. So anyway, we get pulled apart. We go our separate ways. The police split us up. And I do a loop around the block or something, and I come back around, pizza. It just so happens, I'm by myself, completely by myself, and his back is to me, and I hear him jabbing to his buddies about how he just kicked the piss out of me. You know what I mean? And I am half this man's size.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. You know what I mean? I kind of come up behind him, and I just listen for a minute, and I give him a little tap on the shoulder. And he turns around and kind of puzzled that I'm the guy who's trying to stand behind him, you know what I mean? And I didn't come up and haymaker or sucker or try and do something.
Yeah. And after he gave you a sucker shot.
Yeah, after he gave me a sucker shot. That's, I'm a man of principle. So I say to him, are you talking about how you just kicked my ass? And he's kind of like, I said, well, why don't, instead of being downtown where someone's going to intervene and not let, nature take its course, why don't we go somewhere just you and I and see who's fucking, who's the better man is. And at that time, now he's in front of all his buddies. There's me, a smaller guy. I walk over, I grab a taxi door, and I open it up. I say, are you coming? And he doesn't know what to do. He gets in the back of the taxi. So I get in the back of the taxi, we close the door, we jibber back and forth. We say, where do you want to go? You know what I mean? We kind of decide. So I tell the taxi driver to go in an area where I'm more comfortable. So we go to a park off of King's Court, where I'm living on King's Court at the time. Close to my backyard.
Short walk home, why not?
Exactly. 100%. And we're jabbering the whole time what we're going to do. Like, Ted, I can't imagine what the cabbie's thinking.
This is... I can't imagine what he's thinking. I can't imagine what you're thinking. It's fucking nuts.
We get out of the cab, and we walk into the park in the big field, and he steps back, we take our shit up, we look at each other, say, you ready? Yeah. He said, whoa. I said, what? He said, I got done here, you got that big gold ring on, you mind taking the ring off? Not at all. Take the ring off, throw it in my pocket. I said, you ready to do this? Yes. And we go at each other. And it's a good tussle. We're back and forth, rolling around the ground, and you know what I mean? We start to gas out. You know what I mean? And there's no quit. He gets the advantage, I get the advantage, boom. He on top of me, and he's finally, at the time, he's kind of just laying on me around the ground. We're still hitting each other. He's like, "Are you done?" I said, "Are you done?" He said, "Yeah, I'm done." I said, "Yeah, I'm done too." So we get up, we kind of shake each other's hand, and I look. I said, "What? You want to go for a beer?" He says, "Where?" I said, "Well, my house is right there. I got a fridge full of beer. You want to go have some fucking pints?" He says, "Sure." We walk into my place. We walk in the door, sit down on the couch. I go to the fridge, grab a pint, sit down, fucking clank.
Just 2 lawyers. Wait, is he in the NHL while this is going
Yeah,
down?
he's in the NHL.
What a fucking maniac he is too.
So he was in the show at the time. He was in the
Yeah, he was in the show at the time.
So he agrees to go fight this fucking guy in a park.
Oh yeah, he's
based
an
on
animal.
principle.
He's an animal. He loves to scrap too. He likes to man.
And then you guys fight and be like, "Want to go across the street for a beer?" What a fucking
That's a
story!
legendary story.
That is a legendary
That's what we
story.
said when the police pulled up and they seen it. And they like I got a lot of props for that because they couldn't believe that I had the audacity to do something like that. You know, what I mean?
Right.
After, I didn't care. Like I said, I would fight anyone. My motto was anyone, anywhere, anytime. I like fighting more than fucking, and I fuck all the time.
I was going to ask you, man, and this is just like a question. Did you ever have I don't think you ever had a problem getting chicks, but did you find that chicks just sort of fucking gravitated towards you?
Some chicks would gravitate towards me because that fucking, the mystique. Here, I'll show you a picture of me that someone just posted. This is just funny too. This was just posted the other day.
Because you're a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you're no Brad Pitt, but you're a good-looking guy.
This is time. Well, I was the. Yeah, it was. No one would believe it. So
I thought you might have been Italian. I was saying to him.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I put a guess. I would have.
I want you guys to see this picture because you guys are going to be in disbelief. This is the guy that's crushing people. All right. Now you should be able to tell which one I am. Oh, come on. Okay. That's the guy. That's the guy that's knocking out bikers, knocking out gangsters.
Which one? This guy.
This guy right here.
Wow.
That's my buddy. That's me.
Wow.
At that time.
That's how skinny you are.
That's how skinny I was. Fighting monsters.
shit.
Fighting guys 200.
Fucking men.
200
Fighting guys our size.
Bigger than us. Bigger than us.
Unfucking believable.
Never underestimate anybody.
Yeah.
Never
You know what?
underestimate
I look
anybody.
back at pictures, and look, this is not. I'm not even.
Okay, but I'm going to show you the caption in this now.
In the league.
I want you to read this. This is someone just posted this picture. Okay, now if you go down here to a comment from a girl.
Denisha showed me this. This is funny.
Right. Where is it? Okay, read Bonnie Armstrong right there. Just
Okay.
read
So
that.
by the way, in this picture, he looks like a fucking scrawny teenage kid, like a fucking kid. Okay, Bonnie Armstrong's comment. Haha, I remember one night the bouncer kicked Ange and I out for being too drunk, rightfully so. However, we were rowdy about leaving even after I woke Ange up from sleeping on the table at the Kokomo. We ran into Pierre at the corner. He made us go back with him and beat up like 3 bouncers. Jesus, what was wrong with us? That fucking kid beat up 3 bouncers.
That kid beat up 3 bouncers. That kid seeing her because she come up to me
Unbelievable.
crying. It wasn't the story I got from them at that point in time.
Sure.
And that recollection, that image just triggered it, and I remember it like it was fucking yesterday. I'm at Max Milk by the PG Hotel. And now I'm heading the opposite direction. Before I'm heading to PG, now I'm heading back to Kokomo. Well, she comes, she's hysterical. And all she can say is how this bouncer choked her out. There's some girl getting an altercation. The bouncer thought it was her, come up behind her, put her in a sleeper hole, picked her up, and threw her at the bar. So that's you don't do that to a girl.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially a big Norman picking up a 100-pound female. That's just not good, right? So I say to her, really? I said, well, let's go. So I said, take me back to Kokomo and you fucking point them out. You know what I mean? So, and there's steps to go up in their little cubby before you get in, right? There's a wicket you pay, you walk into the Kokomo. And there's about 4 or 5 steps that you walk up. So we get to the 4 or 5 steps, and there's the manager and 3 doormen standing right in that little cubby. And we go walking up, and I look at her, I say, which one was it? And she says, it's that guy right there. And I just come walking up the steps and say, hey, you fucking hit her, bud, boom, boom, boom. And I just start teeing off on her. He goes back into the other bouncer, drops to his knees, and boom, boom. I start teeing up. Well, the next bouncer grabs me, I turn back in, boom, pop the other one. And I look at the manager and I say, fucking, you doormen should be all be fired. You know what I mean?
Can we post that picture? Like, when we post the podcast? Just because, as in all I am in of all the stories that you've told so far, the image of that fucking kid doing this is blowing my mind right now.
It blows my mind. When I go back and I think about the shit that I have done, when I at that stage, it just it's hard to comprehend. Like, I don't believe it. If I didn't live it and actually do it, I wouldn't believe it. And that's what you're talking about as far as picking up chicks.
Yeah.
The rumor would go around, my reputation would go around, so I'd go to a party or something, I would introduce myself and say, I'm Pierre Moore. And they would just look, and they'd say, no, you're not.
He's a monster.
Right. No, you're not.
Right.
So what do you mean I'm not? There's no way you can be Pierre. There's no possible way. Because we're a monster. You want a hilarious story. This is, what I would do, like you asked me if I would pick fights, and I would say, before I start sticking up for the less fortunate and looking after bullies.
Right, for your Robin Hood.
I would play possum. Right. And what I would do is run around the end of the hub, I would walk down the sidewalk like this. And I would pretend I'm fucking hammered. And I would get a fucking nudge. Boom, look at this fucking retard. Boom. And I'd stand up and say, who do you call a retard, motherfucker?
And they must be like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, now I'm on the side of AJ's at the time, and the stage bouncers see what I'm doing. Right? And one is an enforcer for the bikers, and the other one is a champion kickboxer. Right? And so they come across the street, and they said, listen, we're on to your shenanigans, you got to cut it out. I said, what are you talking about? They said, listen, you do it all the time. People don't want to come here because they know that, you know what I mean? They got to. There's
a rabid wolf fucking picking off sheep.
And I'm just sitting there. I'm pretty arrogant. And I look at them, and they're monsters.
Yeah,
legit monsters.
Yeah,
I said, fucking. Don't you guys work at Stages? We're at Ages. Why don't you guys go back over across the street? And they said, we work the whole hub. And as soon as they say that, I take a step back, clear my nostrils. I say, well, come on then, motherfuckers. And the kickboxer goes to come at me. Well, the enforcer gets a kick, kind of a kick. I can't believe the set of balls on me. Puts his arm out, stops him. At that point in time, he lets him go. I get throttled. Yeah. You know what I mean? These are trained killers.
Yeah, right.
I'm in the wrong. There's a point in time where they're doing their job. I'm in the wrong. I'm just being a cocky little fucking punk. Right. Well, a week later goes by. The enforcer bouncer is breaking up a fight between two monsters. One guy's about 6'6", 280. The other guy's 6'4", about 320.
Jesus Christ.
So I come walking up. I see what's going on. This is right beside Bubba's, the poutine place. And I grab... They're breaking up. The guy that's 6'4", 320 is the aggressor. He wants to fight the guy that's 6'6". Well, the guy that's 6'6", 280 is the non-aggressor. Well, I go up and say, listen, calm down, because Buddy's by himself. The doorman and the enforcer's trying to break him up. They're both kind of dwarf him, and he's a big dude. He was a power lifter. So I got the fucking one guy. I come back. Well, he has this guy, and he's getting the story. Well, he comes over to get the other guy's story, and I turn. I go to take the guy at 6'4", 320. I go and I grab him, and I say, hey, bud, he doesn't want to fight you. I said, look at you, bud. You're a monster. You're an animal. Well, this is drawn in a big crowd now. Two big guys going to fight. At the end of the night, at the bar, boom, there's fucking 100 people. Sure. And someone yells, hey, Pierre, what's going on? And I turn and look, and as soon as I turn and look, boom, Buddy suckers me. I turn and look back. As soon as that happened, well, now the enforcer jumps in between us, goes to put it back, and look at me. He said, what are you doing? He's like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I said, fuck, get out of my way. He says, what, you want to fight this guy? He said, he just hit me. I'm going to hit him back. And this guy's licking his lips like I'm a fucking drumstick. He is going to run through me. And the doorman's like, you want to fight this guy? I said, fucking get out of the way. He steps back. Buddy winds up like he's throwing a game. I come in, if you ever played the game Street Fighter, I come in and all you can. Oh, you boom. I hit one uppercut. I knock him out. Cool, one shot. Then I grab his fucking right shoulder or his left shoulder, and I fucking pin him against the window, and I just start dropping all you can. All you can. All you can. All you can. I give him about 14 all you cans to catch. And the last one, I drop down all the way to the ground. I come flying up. Boom! I launch him. He goes flying about 20 feet, and I was so lucky because the big bike racks were fucking about 4 inches round, solid steel. When he goes back, and his head just grazes it, and he out cold. Blood comes up, teeth are gone. I come running up, and I'm going. This man should never. He is double my weight. I'm 160 tops. He's 320. He never fucking suckered me. Never picked a problem, and that's why I hated big guys. So I'm going at him. I'm going to finish this motherfucker. Well, now the bouncer grabs me and says, "No. He done.
Yeah, right.
So I calmed down, and he's like, man,
Thank
you're
goodness.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to work for us? You want to come be a bouncer? And I'm, yeah, whatever.
And then you get there drunk and super pretended you just walk.
that was the big ethic. Now I'm trying to make up for it because when I come to my senses, I sober up, I realize that he had saved me. So now I'm doing him a solid the next night, right? Or a week later. So a week goes by, and I'm at Stages. I'm up top. Partying had the time of my life. All of a sudden, the bells just come up, and the manager, and they're like, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here now. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, there's fucking, that guy's brother, the guy's name happened to be Addy Irwin. He said, out in the country, he's a big dumb hick, right? So like, you got to get out of here. There's a bunch of big motherfuckers down here. They're looking for the guy that knocked out Addy's teeth and fucking pulverized him, and they're gonna hurt him. You got to get out the back door. You got to go. I'm like, really, where are they? They're like, they point down over the rail. The Stages look like they're right there. I look, like, I got this. They're like, what? I'm not going anywhere. This is classic. So I walk downstairs. I walk up to the group of guys, and there's 4 fucking monsters, just as big as Addy, if not bigger.
Right.
I come up and I said, fucking, hey guys. They look at me and they're like, what?
They can't believe it either.
I said, you guys looking for me? They said, why the fuck would we be looking for you? Are you not looking for the guy that knocked out Addy's teeth? They said, yeah. I said, well, I'm that guy. Not you. I said, yeah. They said, they're laughing. They're laughing. They're rolling on. They couldn't believe it. They're patting me on the back. They're like, get him a beer. Fucking. They're like, yeah. I said, they're like, why? What happened? I said, he fucking suckered me for no reason. He hit me, so I hit him back. They're like, yeah, that Addy be a real dumb cunt sometimes. They fucking sat there, they chatted with me for about 15 minutes, and they went on their business.
That is really fucking funny, man.
So good.
That is really funny. And also, I think a good moment to bring up. I overheard when you were first in there at the Comfort Inn, that you've been sober for 11 years.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I mean. But I was telling him about being rehabilitation. There's no such thing. The judicial system in Canada, or I don't know too much about the States, but it's a big business.
Right.
You or I commit a crime, a lot of people get to eat. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are employed to look after criminals. And if there's no crime, there's a lot of people that are work.
Sure,
there's a lot of people, more than the traffic taxes, you know what I mean? Our roads and infrastructure that take a lot of our taxes. Well, what pays for all that is criminals and the money they can get. It's just another big business, and it was demoralizing. I realized I was only a number. But when I was incarcerated, it wasn't that I was locked up that made me want to be good. It was that I had a daughter. If anything bad happened to her, I was there. I'd never forgive myself, and you have to grow up. Like I said, for a long time, I blamed my acting out as being a product of my environment. It wasn't my fault. Poor me.
The way you were raised, your stepfather.
So my whole life, I blamed people. Why'd you hit that guy? Well, he pissed me off. He made me angry. You know what I mean? I was mad. He fucking did something that pissed me. And the first time I took the program, now I'm on parole. If I don't complete this program, I have to go back to the institution. And I don't want to go back. And I don't like what the facilitator is saying. It doesn't make sense. Because he's telling me no one can piss you off. No one can make you mad. No one can make you angry. I said, where the fuck you live, bud? On the fucking moon? What are you talking about? I live in an environment.
What life did you fucking have?
So people can make me mad. And so I snap, I lose it, try to calm me down. I say, no, well, now they're going to kick me out of the course. And they tell me that after everyone leaves, they sit me down. They say, listen, you're done. You're a fucking loose cannon. We're worried that you're going to go off and you're going to hurt somebody in here. People come here to get better, not get worse. And you're a lost cause right now, bud. And I said, no, you can't kick me out. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You have to give me another chance because I know as soon as they call my parole officer, they're sending me back, right? So I apologize. I say, I lost myself. I just don't understand the way you guys think. So I go to a couple more times. They say, they'll give me another chance. Well, I get in trouble with my union hall because I'm, like I said, I'm loose cannon the way I see things. And I decided to go to Winnipeg and work. And I called my parole officer. I said, listen, can I do this course another time because I need to provide for my family, and I got to go to work, and work is in Winnipeg, not here.
Right.
So she says, okay. I come back. I decide I got to take the course again. I say, well, I'm going to go into this with an open mind. And I remember the exact moment we're sitting down, and he tells me,
same guy? Is it the same counselor?
Same facilitator, and I'm open arms, and we end up become really good friends. But what he says to me is why someone can't piss you off. The only person that can piss you off is you. Everything that happens in our life, we perceive it a certain way. So all the information, everything we look at it, we see it whatever we see or tell ourselves, you know what I mean? We tell ourselves a story, and that story is what gives us our emotion, right? So I was one-dimensional. I would look at something, I would see you doing something, it would anger me, and I wouldn't give it another thought. And what an example of this is, let's say you're driving down the street, and all of a sudden this guy cuts you off. There's kids on the sidewalk, you veer off, you almost go up on the sidewalk and smoke these kids, and that guy fucking, you see that cuts you off, you're just enraged with him. You know what I mean? You're like, that motherfucking cocksucker, and you want to kill him because you just killed a couple little kids on the sidewalk. But you didn't know that, you just automatically assume that that guy's a piece of shit, he's not paying attention, he fucking cut you off intentionally. Those are the things you tell yourself at that time. So instead, what really happened is while he's driving down the road, he gets a phone call, he answers the phone, and it's his daughter telling him that his wife just died.
Right.
You know what I mean? His wife's telling him that his kid was just killed.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And for that brief moment, he just blacks out and doesn't realize what he's doing. He goes off the road. So what I realized is there was more than one way to look at it. I remember the very first time I looked at something one way, and it gave me a feeling. It gave me my emotion. I was able to stop myself, to come at it from a different perspective, and look at it again. And as soon as I did that, it gave me a different feeling. And then when it did that, that was the first time I'd ever done that in my life. And I couldn't believe it, that my feeling had changed. And I was just like, wow, are you kidding me? And so everything that you see, there's 360 degrees. There's 300 possible.
Whatever they're going through, you don't know what they're. You never know what that person is going through. If you can at least give them the benefit of the doubt.
Infinite possibilities.
Yeah, there's infinity possibilities. That's right. So you never know. So and then I would just always react. Like I said, the minute you think someone's going to harm you, you should harm them first. So I thought,
right, land those three. Land those three.
You got to be on top of it, right? Instead of understanding it and then always blaming everyone. My wife hates it when I tell her that because she'd be like, "You're pissing me off," and I'd be like, "I can't piss you off. It's just the way you're looking at it." You know what I mean? She hates it because that's what I go to. So you're pissing yourself off. I'm just being a dick. You know what I mean? But you're telling yourself whatever that's making you mad. You're in full control. And yes, I still get angry. I'm only human. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I know now that when I get angry, it's me. You know what I mean? If I'm pissed off, it's me choosing to be pissed off. I don't have to be pissed off. Like I said, there was a part of my life where I hated people that walked around the world. They were always skipping and frolicking and happy and smiling. I'm like, how is this person happy all the fucking time? How are they happy? Do they not see that war?
Yeah. The Musketeer.
But they don't understand there's war going on and people are getting raped and there's fucking preachers and priests that are that are pedophiles and there's so much tragedy in the world. Like 70% of the world's population is starving. How do they not see all this? It's not that they don't acknowledge it or see it. It's just you have two things. You can choose to see the bad and feel shitty.
Right.
Or you can choose to focus on the good and feel good.
Right. What wolf are you going to feed?
Yeah, exactly. What wolf are you going to feed?
Yeah.
And my wife knows that it's there, and I tell her all the time, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Right.
That's why I don't drink, because I know I'm in control. What was a saddening thing is I stuck up for a lot of people for the wrong reasons. I stuck up for a lot of bad people. And I fought a lot of people's battles that I shouldn't have. And if there's anything I regret doing that. You know what I mean? Because they manipulated me.
Right.
And that was... What I realized is my whole life I wanted to be as strong and the best weapon I could be as physically. I always thought it was my body. The best I can use my hands, my legs, my knees, my elbows, everything. The way I can use that is going to make me a dangerous person. When I was incarcerated, what made me realize what's going to make me a dangerous person is my mind. My body is just a tool my mind allows me to use. And the better I can use my mind, the better I'm going to be able to use my body.
What are you doing now to stay in shape? Because you look like you're you're in pretty good shape.
People ask me, I used to train people on the side. You know what I mean? But I don't have time. I work a lot.
Okay.
Like last year, I worked 56 days in a row, took 3 days off, went back to work for 43 days.
Wow.
But I work hard, so like in if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
I got you.
So I go to work and I play and I work out and I hang out with a couple of cool dudes. You know what I mean? Sure, there's some pieces of shit there, but that's
of course
and everywhere. Right?
Of course.
But as long as I can focus at that work, that I'm hanging out with some good guys, playing, getting paid a good wage to have fun, I have a great day. But when I work, because I work on a job that's funded by the government, and it's people are taking advantage of it, milking it, and our taxes are going up, and it's people are.
Once you start getting stuck in that fucking hamster wheel,
I start having a bad day. You know what I mean? That's what I choose to look at.
It's so funny, and I'm sure none of these guys or a lot of these guys like don't realize like when you're like "fuck you, buddy," and they're like fuck you," like they don't know what they're getting into.
I'm in the union, and I would travel from job to job, right? So it'd be funny when I would know the moment it had gotten around, right?
Yeah.
So my first day on the job, there's all kinds of different trades, and there's guys that they're construction workers. You
Sure.
know what I mean? They're a bunch of hard asses, they're hunters, and this and that. And, they're alpha males, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're sizing me up and down. They kind of give me the cold shoulder. And wait. Well, in a couple of weeks, that guy was like, hey. I can walk around and say, hey, Pierre, how you doing, buddy? What got into you? So I always know, and I get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I play on it, sometimes I don't. Like I said, I'm not perfect.
When was the last time you were in a fight?
I haven't fought since I've been released.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I said, and I told people that.
So that really was an awakening moment for you, like when that anger management guy gave you that little skew.
Someone always got up. You know what I mean? I know people that, you know what I mean, in one shot, they hit a guy one time, they never fought as much as I did.
Yeah.
And they hit that guy, he fell, hit the curb the wrong way, he just never got up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
I know a couple guys like that.
But I tell guys at work that I piss off, I say, if it's going to make you feel like a better person, you're going to be a better man, fucking smack me in the face, have at it. You know what I mean? If that's what's good, that's what you got to do to feel good about yourself, have at it.
But you only get one.
But you only get one. That's right. I've used that line a lot.
I think we should end it on you only get one, because you opened on it like you were like, I'll give you one. I'm like, whoa.
I want to tell you guys, come back, we'll touch up, and remind me how I got into letting people kick me in the junk.
Oh, God, we didn't even get to that. We are coming back for the junk, and we're coming back for the Saskatchewan Rough Rider.
And the Kathleen Wynne sticker on the back of your car, I know. It's a middle finger. It's fuck with.
Hey, I voted Liberal. I actually did volunteer work for Mark Garrison. You know what I mean? And I canvassed for him, have a big sign and stuff. So
this guy has really made a fucking 180, man. Look at this beautiful fucking house he's living in.
You know what I mean? I voted, I canvassed, I volunteered.
I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, so she better not get reelected.
Oh, fuck, Pierre, man. Listen,
thanks so much.
Really great.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for your time, man.
It's the most
we've
precious
been going on
commodity
for fucking 2 hours.
So give, we never get back.
That's it. So I really appreciate it, man. And it's just been a great interview. And we'd love to come back to Kingston.
Yeah.
Kingston.
Trust me, it's some of that, I have some really legit stories for you. You guys will like how I got on to kicking me in the junk.
Guys, thanks for listening to Fight Stories. We are having a great time making this podcast. We're getting some great guests, and the feedback has been awesome. If you want to support the show, you can do it in 2 ways. Way number 1, money. We're on Patreon now, so check out Fight Stories. Anything we get, we're pumping right back into the podcast. We're trying to get bigger, better, and better. Secondly, continue to subscribe and share, and please rate the podcast on iTunes.
This one is the line he wants to hear. Your Fight Story so well.
You hear that, Ryan? We appreciate you. We're on Instagram at Fight Stories Podcast, on Twitter at Fight Stories Pod, and on Facebook, just plug in Fight Stories. Our ugly mugs are going to pop up. Support the fights. Fuck the arts.
My dad needs some money.